patient is a diagnosed case of carcinoma right breast. At the age of 45, she was diagnosed, and she is currently 50 years, unmarried patient. She is hypertensive. She has history of CKD and history of SLE, which is under medication. She has no family history of breast cancer, yet her mother died of blood cancer, and she was postmenopausal at the time of diagnosis. She was presented with right breast in first quarter of 2015, and she also had right-sided axillary lymph nodes. FNAC showed infiltrating ductal carcinoma, grade 2. Stage was clinical T2N1-MX. Immunohistochemistry showed ER/PR and HER2 negative. Went clearance in third quarter of 2015. She received 50-day radiation in 25 fraction, which was completed in Delta Hospital in second quarter of 2016. Patient was keeping well and she was under follow-up. But in February 2017, after 8-9 months, whole body bone scan was done and they showed increased osteoblastic activity in right hip joint. Thus, patient received 10 cycles of injection zoledronic acid up to fourth quarter of 2018. After that, patient was keeping well. She was symptomatically well, and patient was again under regular follow-up. But in 2020 third quarter, she presented with left breast lump. Ultrasound of left breast was done in 27th October 2020, which revealed ill-defined, irregular, marginated solid mass lesion in upper mid-quadrant of breast parenchyma, and which was highly suspicious for malignancy.
Here we can see that PET CT scan show no definite recurrent mass or abnormal FDG uptake, but newly developed small irregular soft tissue density mass in left breast with mild FDG uptake, SUV max 3.6. Whole body bone scan is normal.
Yeah, PET CT scan was done in October 2020, and it revealed no definite recurrent mass or abnormal FDG uptake at the right mastectomy site and right axilla. However, there was newly developed small irregular soft tissue density in left breast with mildly FDG uptake. SV was 3.6, and whole body bone scan was also done, but it was normal. So this is the PET CT scan, and thereafter lumpectomy with axillary sampling was done in fourth quarter of 2020. Histopathology report showed infiltrating ductal carcinoma, moderately differentiated. Stage was T1C N0MX, and there was no lymphovascular invasion. Deep margins was free of tumor. 6 lymph nodes were taken. None of them showed metastasis. Immunohistochemistry showed ER/PR negative and HER2 borderline. Score was 2+. This is the histopathology report, immunohistochemistry reports of the patient. Thus, patient came to us and she was planned for adjuvant chemotherapy, which should be followed by the locoregional radiotherapy. Patient was started on adjuvant chemotherapy with docetaxel and cyclophosphamide. First cycle chemotherapy was given on 22nd of December 2020. And the whole chemotherapy procedure was uneventful. Currently, her performance status is not that satisfactory. ECOG score is 2+, and her comorbidity, that is hypertension, and she had a history of SLE, which are well controlled at present. And patient received chemotherapy via the chemo port, and which was uneventful. Actually, today evening, I had talked with the patient over phone, and after first cycle chemotherapy, patient has now developed fever for last 3 days. And actually, patient has a history of CKD, and her creatinine level is exactly is raised since last 5 years. So she has a restriction with the chemotherapeutic drugs, which are nephrotoxic. So here at the last part, I would like to say so what is the next treatment and follow-up plan for this patient, and especially if we think about her CKD history, this is not tolerable to the nephrotoxic chemotherapeutic drugs. So in case of right now we have started docetaxel and cyclophosphamide. So in case of if she is intolerable to these drugs, then what will be the alternate chemotherapeutic regimens to be given, and what will be the further follow-up plan?
Thank you, Dr. Rajani, for your nice case. Now it's time for discussion. We'll finish it quickly. First, I want to go to Professor Don Dazon, sir. Sir, do you have any clarification or anything to ask?
The only thing that I think, two things is that this person now with her second breast cancer, although she has no family history here in the United States, we would be testing her we would be doing genetic counseling and testing for an inheritable mutation. The second is that it's really critical that you get clarification on the HER2 status. I see it was a borderline result here. We would either do FISH or FISH to try to clarify whether or not it's positive, because that has many implications. I think for her, it's her second breast cancer. It's about 4 or 5 years from the first. This is curable, and I would try to get her through docetaxel and Cytoxan. You cannot give her anthracyclines again. I guess the only other option would be CMF, which I do think is probably less tolerable than docetaxel and Cytoxan. Sometimes what I will do here, if she has diabetes or you cannot give her the steroids, is I'll try to replace that with a drug called Abraxane, which is NAB paclitaxel, right? Because you don't need to give the steroids for that one, based on how the drug is delivered into cells. And then in terms of follow-up, I would follow her as you would normally after curative intent therapy for her breast cancer now on the left side.
Thank you, sir. We have Dr. Sadia with us, Associate Professor Oncology, BSMMU. Sadia, do you have any clarification or anything to add with this case, as you're also seeing this patient? Dr. Sadia.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Onangshu. Thank you, sir, for arranging such a nice meeting. I am keep in touch with this patient from 2015, and she was treated in multiple centers, I should say, because she got radiotherapy from Delta Medical Center. She went for follow-up for Tata also. She got 1 year of prophylactic injection zoledronic acid from other consultant. So this year she came to us with the recurrence, and now the main challenge is her CKD. Her creatinine is 3.3 or 4, something like that, and she already have taken the paclitaxel and doxorubicin-based chemotherapy. So we are in doubt that should we continue with the docetaxel or not, because her performance status also not so good. Thanks to Dr. Dazon for the better option that paclitaxel can be given. Where if we cannot continue with the docetaxel, then we should continue with the paclitaxel. And what about the mutation status? I want to ask, that is the we go for, but we want to, but patients sometimes cannot afford in our country the mutational status of BRCA. So what is your opinion for Bangladesh, like where people cannot sometimes afford the mutational status of BRCA1/2? So then what to do for these type of patients? This is my main question.
Well, I'm hoping, at least for the Bangladeshi community here, I'm hoping that GCI can help make the argument on a national level that this is important testing that needs to be covered for your patients. It is standard of care here in the United States, and more it has treatment implications if you do find a BRCA mutation. But not only that, right? The opportunity to prevent breast cancer in these families is something we are missing globally. But hopefully, with Dr. Das's persistence and your continued collaboration, we can do something good and get coverage, and actually petition even the companies to come to Bangladesh and offer this testing at a level that is affordable, because the gains to society are huge.
Yes.
Right now, the only thing I can think of, Dr. Sharman, for you is potentially to contact one of these companies and see if there is an access program that will allow the testing for this patient.
Okay.
I'm happy to help you with that as well. Perhaps Dr. Das can give us the email, and we can potentially coordinate with one of the companies that Dr. Ben Park works with closely to get her tested.
Thank you, sir.
That is
Thank you for opening up a new avenue for us. This BRCA testing and mutational testing is a big challenge. I think with the collaboration
Huge
with our
challenge.
Breast Cancer Society, as well as Dr. Sadia is from a key point. She's there in the university hospital. So maybe we can make some avenue. Thank you, Desan sir. So we're running short of time.
I
We
have
have
one
very
question
quick comments.
from Dr. Rajesh. Sir,
Yeah,
Rajesh sir.
definitely.
Regarding radiotherapy, I want to ask. Regarding radiotherapy to the opposite breast, because she had taken the radiotherapy for the right breast for 5 years back, but now she came to us with lumpectomy. Now we have to give radiotherapy in that breast also. So what is your suggestion regarding this type of patients for irradiation?
Basically, she has had left side. She had RT to the right side. Now
Yes,
she is going to have RT to the left side. So basically, what you can do is while you are planning, you can keep your border in the midline. It's not necessary to cross to the opposite side. And maybe this patient would not require any RT to the nodes because all nodes are negative. Maybe you can treat only the chest, maybe the whole breast, followed by a boost to the lumpectomy cavity. You can follow an hypofractionated schedule, maybe 40 in 15 for the whole breast, and give a boost of 12.5 in 5 fractions to the boost cavity, to the tumor bed boost. That's one thing. And regarding the chemotherapy, what you're giving, docetaxel and cyclophosphamide, if the creatinine clearance is very less than 30, I suppose cyclophosphamide also should not be given. Docetaxel doesn't have much contraindication in renal problem. It is a well-tolerated drug even in renal toxicity when compared to cyclophosphamide. Other drug which you can keep in your mind is capecitabine. Usually forget capecitabine. It's a very good drug for triple negative, but it should be given only when creatinine clearance is more than 30.
You raise a very good point. And in fact, if you can't give the Cytoxan, I would give carboplatin.
Correct. Yeah. Okay.
Kamruzaman sir.
Yeah. Actually, Don Desan has given all the clarification regarding this patients, and this is a triple. If it is triple negative, if that it is a HER2 2+, if we can make fish, we can think this is a triple negative breast cancer from the beginning. Especially, we can add what Rajesh has told. We can use the capecitabine. Even we can use what Don Desan has done. We can use the carboplatin or gemcitabine also in limited doses, especially. And one thing Dr. Don Desan has given a very good ideas regarding the BRCA1 testing in Bangladesh. We can have a collaborations with the companies, and they can JCI can also help in this matter. Even Rajesh can give some clue, especially some company that were doing in India very cheaper. I think they're about 18,000 rupees or not. Like that. So if the company can also do it can start in Bangladesh in very cheaper rates, we can have the JCI attached with that company, so they can also help in that much to reduce the costing dose of the BRCA1 and 2 in Bangladesh. So a lot of people can benefit from that one. Very good. I think we should, thanks to Dr. Don Desan, we should take help from him, from the Global Cancer Institute regarding the diagnostic facilities, to improve diagnostic facilities in Bangladesh. Thanks, Dr. Don Desan.
Salim Reza sir and Amit Said sir, do you want to add anything? We are running overshooting time. So
Yes.
finishing.
One thing I can add that while doing surgery on these patients, who is definitely a high-risk category patient, so just what we are thinking now, these drugs will be given or not, radiation may be difficult in a second setting. Patients might have an option to go for a total mastectomy with axillary sampling, which could have avoid the radiation, which may be difficult for this patient, and then plus systemic therapy as you have learned from the heard from the panelists. So that would have been another option, just to avoid radiation.
Selim Reza sir.
Thanks, Dr. Onangshaw. As there is a lot of discussion, nothing to be new added. I should say, as a patient is a CKD patient, in these stages, I like to use as a chemotherapy protocol, capecitabine may be used, and definitely we should go for the radiotherapy which Professor Azad suggested.